There we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kristen Graves of the River Street Art Project in Janes Walk, North Adams, located here in North Adams, Massachusetts. So the River Street Art Project is a local gallery with a focus on social justice issues. And Janes Walk is an international festival of free walking tours in which local citizens have a walking conversation about different aspects of their neighborhood or their cities. So today's walk is a mini tour, which is taken one tiny part of a larger exhibit at the River Street Art Project. River Street Art Project located at 102 River Street in the same shop as Christopher's Cuts. The larger exhibit at the Art Project covers food options north of the Hoosic River, then and now. So I've been researching this walk for over a year, which is, when you see it, you might wonder why it took so long. My research sources include combinations of old maps, city directories, websites of local historians like Paul Marino, Joe Manning, newspaper articles, and state-sponsored cultural resource information. So today we're going to look at 4 locations that sold food either in the past or today, and they're all located right at the corner of River Street and Holden Street in North Adams. So the first thing we're going to look at is the old Sun Cleaners building, which is right there across the street. Okay, so just take a look at that building. We've got the brick on the left and the white part on the right. And now I'm going to show you a map from 1888. Here's the map. Okay, so you can see the circle building here is Sun Cleaners. So there's a part that sticks out right here, and then there's a part that's sitting further back. And I'm going to show you, there's the building again. Okay, so the brick part is sticking out, and the white part is sitting back. Okay, so everybody knows that building if you live in North Adams. And now, next slide, please. We're going to look at it. So that first map was from 1888. Okay, so about 10 years later, 1897. Here's the map. Here's Sun Cleaners. Okay, we just looked at that. Sun Cleaners, there it is across the street. And now, you see this building here? 140, it's labeled 146, and says grocery store. Okay, but if we look at the thing, well, there's nothing there, right? So that little tiny building was right behind that bollard thing on the next to the yellowy house. But there's nothing there now. But it was there in 1897. It existed from the 1890s at least until the 1940s. And maybe one of you who's listening knows exactly when it was torn down. Over the years, there are at least 3 different food stores were located in that building. So Jacob Kuhn, and I have here, well, you can see that, that's his headstone. Okay, that's in Riverside Cemetery in Egremont. Okay, so Jacob Kuhn ran a variety store there in the 1890s. Peter Peters ran a grocery store there from the 1890s to the 1910s. And Toffee K. Saroof had a grocery store in that little building from the 1930s to the 1940s. But as you can see now, it's just paved over with asphalt, and there's really no remaining evidence that that building ever existed. Okay. The address for that was 109 River Street. So now we're going to move on to 115 River Street. I'm going to show you a map from 1929. Okay, so here's Sun Cleaners, right? I'm pointing at that, and there it is in the background. Here's the building we just talked about. A minute. Okay, gotta wait for the noisy truck to go by. And look, so we got one building here, and there's another building, another building right here, just about where that gray minivan is parked. There's Sun Cleaners. there's the gray minivan, which is sitting right on top of what used to be 115 River Street. So that building existed from the decade of the 1900s at least to the 1940s. So hopefully that was the cop leaving who was idling his car under my window. That minivan store held at least two food stores. In the 1910s, Harry Cronick ran a grocery store there. And then Mrs. Josephine Kelly had a grocery store there in the 1930s. But again, there's no remaining evidence that there was ever a building there. Okay, next slide, please. So now we're going to look at a map from 1946. Okay, so here's Sun Cleaners. Here's the first building we talked about. Here's the second building we talked about. And now we're going to talk about this building. Okay, so go up. There's that minivan, and you see that kind of yellowish house there. That's this house. Okay, there's the little front porch sticking out. You can see that there. But this house is not there anymore. Excuse me. Okay, but it was there. In 1946 it was there, and before that, sorry, should have brought water with me. It's another building that no longer exists, but it was here into the 2000s. The building was owned in the 2000s by Lou Matney Sr. and his son, Lou Matney Jr., opened a hot dog stand there in 2000 called Lou's Hot Dog Heaven. He had been given a special permit by the city of North Adams, but the city suspended that permit, saying that necessary repairs and upgrades were not completed. So Matney Jr. and Sr. both thought the city was treating them unfairly compared to other businesses in town, and there were also some issues over unpaid taxes on the building, and Matney and the city ended up in court in 2005, and then later the building was torn down. Okay, we have one more building to talk about. First, we're going to cross the street here, so follow me. Okay, nice job of waiting for pedestrians there. Great. Okay, we're crossing Holden Street. We're still at the corner of Holden and River. And now we're going to turn around. We'll take another look at, there's the location of Lou's Hot Dog Heaven, right where that silver pickup is. There's the location of one of our torn down buildings. We've got Sun Cleaners, the other torn down building. And now we're looking at the corner market, 110 River Street. Okay, so first got a map. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's the map. This is from the Massachusetts Cultural Information System. So there's Holden Street, see that red right here? That's the location. So here's River Street, Holden. We're standing right here, looking across at the corner market. Okay, so this building has had multiple uses over the years. I'm going to show you a nice painting of this building, pretty much taken from right where we're standing. This was done by Thor Wickstrom. He has a website that has a lot of paintings, nice paintings of New York City and the Berkshires, including a bunch of North Adams. So that's a nice painting there. And there's the building. Okay. So in the 1890s, Crum Manufacturing had a soda bottling operation at this location. But this building that we're looking at was not there yet at that time. This building was not erected until about 1905. It was a grocery store from the 1900s into the 1910s. Then John Shand had a meat store here that ran from roughly the 1900s to the 1950s. There was Benny's Market in the 1960s, and then it became the Corner Market maybe it's officially the corner one-stop self-service market. That was from the 1980s to the present. In addition to those food locations that were here, by 1929, Peter Treybolt, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, ran a photography studio here. So that was from roughly 1929 into the 1950s, I believe. And on the north side of the building, which we cannot see from where we're standing, there was a large window for the photo studio. But now it's been covered over by this siding that you see. Okay, that's it for today. Please stop by the River Street Art Project, 102 River Street, in the same location as Christopher Cutts Barbershop, after dark. And you can see a slideshow in the window of all the 61 food locations that I found north of the Hoosic River. And after the COVID restrictions are lifted, there'll be an exhibit inside the barbershop at the River Street Art Project. You can see that, look at all, there's a map and talking about all the 61 locations. And in addition, at a future date to be announced, I'll be doing a gallery talk about that exhibit. So thanks for joining us, and goodbye.